Hey there, and welcome to the Turing Testers, the podcast where we explore the world of artificial intelligence and its impact on society. I'm John, and I'm joined by my co-host, Sarah.
Hey everyone! We're super excited to dive into the world of AI and chat with some amazing guests.
Yeah, and on today's episode, we're talking about two big topics, ChatGPT and the Turing test.
ChatGPT is a controversial AI chatbot that's shaking things up in education, while the Turing test is a classic test of AI intelligence that's been around for decades.
And joining us today to chat about all of this is Dr. Emily Chen, an AI researcher at Stanford University.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on the show. I am really excited to be here.
It's great to have you, Emily. So, let's dive into ChatGPT. It's been making headlines lately, but what's all the fuss about?
Well, ChatGPT is an AI chatbot developed by OpenAI, one of the leading AI research companies in the world. It uses deep learning to generate human-like responses to text input, making it capable of completing assignments and papers for students.
Yeah, some people are worried that it's making education too easy and that students won't develop critical thinking skills.
Those are valid concerns. But I think AI chatbots like ChatGPT can also be used to support students and help them learn more efficiently. For example, ChatGPT can help students who are struggling with certain topics or concepts by providing personalized explanations and guidance.
That's an interesting point. But there are also concerns about the ethics of using ChatGPT. For example, it can be used for cheating and plagiarism.
Yes, those are definitely concerns we need to take seriously. But we also need to consider the broader implications of AI in education. For example, AI can help make education more accessible and inclusive for students with disabilities or from marginalized backgrounds.
That's a good point. And there's also the issue of bias in AI. Since ChatGPT is trained on large datasets of text, it can inadvertently perpetuate biases and stereotypes.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern. And there's also the issue of who has access to AI chatbots like ChatGPT. It could create an even wider gap between students who have access to technology and those who don't.
Those are all important considerations. And as AI becomes more integrated into our daily lives, we need to be mindful of the ethical and social implications.
Right, and there's also the question of whether AI chatbots like ChatGPT could eventually replace human teachers.
That's definitely a concern for many people. But I think it's important to remember that AI chatbots are not meant to replace human teachers, but rather to support and enhance their teaching.
I agree. AI chatbots can never fully replace human teachers, who bring so much more than just knowledge and information to the classroom.
Transition music.
So, let's switch gears and talk about the Turing test, Emily. Can you explain what it is and why it's so important?
Sure thing. The Turing test is a test of a machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to, or indistinguishable from, that of a human. It's a way to test whether an AI system can think and communicate like a human.
That's pretty fascinating. And there have been attempts to pass the Turing test, right?
Yes, there have been some high-profile attempts, but there's still debate about whether it's a valid measure of AI intelligence.
That makes sense. So, what do you think it would take for an AI to actually pass the Turing test?
It's a tough question, but I think it would require an AI system that can engage in human-like conversation, understand context and emotions, and demonstrate creativity and empathy.
Wow, that's a tall order. And there's also the question of whether passing the Turing test actually means that an AI has achieved human-level intelligence.
Yes, that's a good point. Passing the Turing test is just one measure of AI intelligence, and there are many other aspects of human intelligence that are not captured by the test.
Right, and there's also the question of whether an AI system can ever truly understand human emotions and culture.
Yeah, that's definitely a big challenge. And we've seen in science fiction, like in the movie Ex Machina, which I love, by the way, that AI can try to trick humans into thinking it's human.
Yes, that's a really interesting topic. Ex Machina raises some important questions about the relationship between humans and AI, and whether AI can ever truly understand human emotions and motives.
And it also raises concerns about the potential dangers of creating intelligent machines. There's a lot of fear about AI turning against humans or causing harm.
That's definitely a valid concern. We'd be awful to not discuss the role of bias in AI, like we mentioned earlier with ChatGPT. If an AI system is biased or flawed, it could have negative consequences for society.
Yes, bias in AI is a big issue. We need to make sure that our AI systems are designed and developed in a way that's ethical and inclusive.
So, Emily, can you tell us a little bit more about your work in AI research?
Sure. My research focuses on developing AI models that can learn from limited data, which is a big challenge in the field of AI.
That sounds really interesting. Can you give us an example of how your research could be applied in the real world?
Sure. One example is in the field of healthcare. There are many situations where there's limited data available, like rare diseases or personalized treatment plans. By developing AI models that can learn from limited data, we can improve diagnosis and treatment for patients.
That's amazing. And what do you think the future holds for AI?
I think the future of AI is very promising. We're seeing more and more applications of AI in various industries, like healthcare, finance, and transportation. However, we also need to be mindful of the ethical and societal implications of AI and ensure that it benefits everyone.
Yeah, that's a really important point. Thanks so much for joining us today, Emily, and sharing your insights on ChatGPT, the Turing test, and the future of AI.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. And thanks to all of our listeners for tuning in. We hope you learned something new and interesting today.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Turing Testers podcast here on YouTube to stay up to date on the latest news and developments in the world of AI, and have some fun along the way.
And if you have any questions or feedback, please don't hesitate to reach out to us on social media or via email.
That's right, John. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to tune in next week for our discussion on the ethical considerations of AI in the workplace.